breaking Celtic transfer news about our big grumpy Greek who might be leaving Celtic sooner rather than later, and it's not to a club that you might have thought of. It's not in the English Premiership, it's not even in Europe, so we'll talk about that in a second. The Rangers boss says that Ange Postecoglou is lucky. It's not the fact that he picks out good players, the fact that he is lucky. We'll talk about that. Rio Tati, we nearly need to speak about him yesterday. He was fantastic. He also got man of the match. Scott Brown, an emotional Scott Brown, had a major shock yesterday. A little bit about that, and then on to the Celtic fans. the comment section on this channel was just brilliant. I love it, absolutely love it now. So we'll talk about Ange Postecoglou being lucky. First of all, the Rangers manager said that in a press conference, he said that Celtic have made 3 signings. We will not be making signings just to spend the money that we don't have. They spend more money than us, so Ange is a lucky man because he's spent a lot of money. He's a good coach, but he has spent a lot of money. Wow. This is from a club that used to say if Celtic spend a fiver, we'll spend a tenner, and they died doing so, and it will be 11 years since the Rangers went into liquidation and then came back as Sevco. The Rangers manager went on to say he knows who he wants to be at the club, and who cares? They can't stop talking about us. Imagine coming out and saying that he's lucky. A manager isn't lucky. A manager works hard. A manager gets his players to work hard. The manager's experienced. The manager's got more experience in his little pinky than Beale's got on his whole body, and he's just shown his class saying that the manager is lucky. So anyway, moving on from that story, and then we'll go to the Breaking Celtic FC Transfer news. So the big grumpy Greek, as I've been calling him for a few weeks now, will face a transfer exit as it comes closer, as negotiations are progressing well with a club in Japan. A club in Japan are set to move for the big Greek striker. It's basically a shock move that's came out of nowhere. The Wantaway Celtic striker Giakoumakis could be set for a shock move to Japan, as the Greek international is poised to leave Parkhead this month, growing frustration at the lack of game time, and it's coming down to money. But the big spenders in Asia are basically willing to meet the £6 million asking price that Celtic are looking for, and they want to basically have a good crack at the league down in Japan. And obviously with the links that the manager has in Japan, I can actually see this deal actually going through. Giakoumakis hasn't found the net since October, but came close yesterday, hitting the woodwork twice during the game against Kilmarnock, and that was a cracking game. And yet, I mean, he'd really put himself about yesterday, so he's still doing what the manager says. He's not throwing a big huff, which is good to see. But could he be on his way to Japan? It's a story that has broke this morning, and the speculation has been around for a few weeks now. The manager says yesterday, I just deal with what's in front of me. Giakoumakis has been working with, but Kyogo's in great form, scoring week in, week out. So he's come on and he's made a contribution. He did get half an hour yesterday. He hasn't flinched from the fact that, you know, he puts in hard tackles. I would love to see him scoring before he left. It's not from the lack of trying, that's for sure. I mean, hitting the woodwork twice, that curved shot that if that had come off the top of the crossbar, if that had went in, that would have been a fantastic goal. Does the boss want to keep him there? He wants to keep all his good players, but players have ambition to obviously better themselves, and if they can do that, the manager's goal is to make sure that they support him in his endeavours. If they think there's an opportunity for them better elsewhere, we'll go through the process of trying to get them that better deal at another club. So the big grumpy Greek could be heading to Japan, is the Breaking Celtic FC transfer news this morning. Right, let's go on to yesterday's game. Rio Tati had a fantastic game yesterday. We're 12 points clear again, and what can you say? 6 goals either side at half time to Jota, and then an own goal from Ash Taylor extended the 12-point gap that we need to just get us that one step closer. There's no way we dropping 9 points. You know, there's no way we're having a 12-point turnaround between now and the end of the season. The league is coming back to Celtic Park again. We will do 2 in a row. Ange Postecoglou will be absolutely legendary. Talking about being legendary, Scott Brown, his Fleetwood Town Stars came up good yesterday, and they knocked out Queen's Park Rangers in the FA Cup. Brynny's doing fantastic things down there. He realises that his his football days are over, and it's all about his players building something for themselves and being part of history down at Fleetwood Town. Speaking on Radio Lancashire, he says, to have our name in the 4th round of the FA Cup is exceptional. For me as a manager, it's exceptional. My playing days are gone. It is all about my managerial career now. These days, these are about the lads leaving a legacy at this club. They showed how hard they work, you know, in the past 6.5 months. That's 2 games in a row that we've won. We need to keep kicking on. But it's great seeing Bruni actually cutting his managerial teeth at lower league clubs rather than going to a bigger club and then getting, you know, it's just, I just think he's going about it the right way. You know, just working his way up through the leagues will be fantastic for him long term, and it will make him a better manager. Talking about managers, talking about Celtic fans, let's go over to the comment section of yesterday's video. Yesterday's video is obviously the Celtic 2 Kilmarnock 0 full-time reaction video that we're going to take these ones from. People are asking what the pub is called. The pub's called Paddy's Point. I'm going to do a video on Paddy's Point. It is in Lasagna in Spain, and it's a bit near Cabo Roig. There is a big Irish community here, and it does boast, Cabo Roig boasts the biggest St Patrick's Day parade outside Ireland on a yearly basis. A few years ago there was 10,000 people at Cabo Roig. So anyway, moving on, the Scottish Press, Hale551 says the Scottish Press have melted down because the Sevco are shite. Good reaction video. Cheers, Hail boys, well said for a while, and we'll bring the Champions League Cup home. I don't think we'll win the Champions League, but as long as I think Ange will get us into the later stages of the Champions League at some point. Great video, Mochara. We should do a live podcast with that man, and he's knowledgeable and good banter. Yet there's a few guys down at the pub that have really good knowledge, and there's a few guys at the pub that they would be on YouTube. You would actually recognise them from back home. Great show. CCV reminds me of Paul McGrath. Big Ange said, Big Ange is the best man we've had in a long time. There is definitely a Jock Steen in him. The process will go on, and Celtic will get stronger. And Anne Armstrong says we need to bury more of our chances. Yet I think that even the manager said that we need to bury more of our chances. We were missing a lot of chances at the first half of the game. We did well to try and get by Kilmarnock and get behind them and get the crosses in, but some of the crosses the first half were woeful. Big Ange is Celtic to the core, and then damn, they got owned. Looks like a resort. Where is the boozer? I want to come along. I will do a video on the boozer, as they say, and we'll talk about the supporters club also, because it is the biggest supporters club outside and it's the biggest Celtic supporters club in Europe. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this video this Sunday morning. The breaking news is the big grumpy Greek could be on his way to Japan. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.